in defense of the general, none of this was in any of Robin DiAngelo's books on how to be an anti-racist. It sounds like Joe thinks we should have gotten out a long time ago.
It sounds like you think we should have gotten out a long time ago. We should have. Except the idea that it was going to be messy no matter what. No matter what would be messy. Yeah, if we got out a long time ago, getting out would be messy no matter when it occurred.
Maybe he's right. But he could have tried to make it a little less messy. But it feels like the only one who can get major control over anything in this country is Britney Spears' father. Joe says we anticipated all of that. But I wonder if the people clinging from the side of the plane were made aware of that. He sounds like Pee Wee Herman after flying over his handlebars declaring, I meant to do that. I guess the only safe and orderly exit the president could muster was the one directly after his first press conference to flee to Camp David. But the real shocker, of course, is that in Afghanistan took 20 years to maintain and then fell faster than Biden in a strong wind. It's Gutfeld Foreign Policy 101. The first thing you need to figure out after invading a place is how to get the hell out of it. Hell, any bank robber knows that. The getaway car is priority number one. It's like when I go to a biker bar. First thing you do is look for the exit. And a good meth dealer. Right, Kat? And now we have thousands of Americans there, and we, the most powerful nation on earth, can't get them out. Even France is sending in teams to go door to door. France! The home of knives! So this moment sucks, because the whole entire thing sucks. People are making billions off the war. As pointed out by journalist m920, the Special Inspector General for Afghan Reconstruction found 30% of $63 billion in expenses examined was lost to fraud and waste. If the cost of the whole war was $2 trillion, the overall amount lost might be $600 billion. So like cake at a nursing home birthday bash, everyone got a piece. Everyone except the men and women who risked their lives there. Some of them died there, and the ones who were lucky enough to make it home will get maybe a pat on the head and hear, nice try, maybe next time. Veteran Darrell Owens said it well. The U.S. provided a level of stability to Afghan lives for 2 decades while trying to reduce the risk of terrorism to our country. Yet this week, seemingly in an instant, Afghanistan was given back to the Taliban with barely moving. So it's no surprise, according to a poll of 1.2 million vets published in Roll Call, 71% said this debacle was a reason for personal sadness. But who knows, maybe the Taliban's changed.
Do you believe the Taliban have changed? No. I think, let me put it this way. I think they're going through sort of an existential crisis about, do they want to be recognized by the international community as being a legitimate government? I'm not sure I would have predicted, Jordan, nor would you or anyone else, that when we decided to leave, that they'd provide safe passage for Americans to get out.
Well, that's a relief. No one predicted a safe passage from the Taliban. Donald Trump might disagree. But if that's the case, you're saying it could have been far worse, but we got lucky based on the kindness of those strangers. Talk about having no plan. I put more prep into an animals are great segment than our leaders did to give citizens and allies in Afghanistan a safe exit. But what if the Taliban has changed? I'd like to see their new book.
We're getting the Taliban back together. Introducing Taliban 2.0. It's been 2 decades. We've grown, and we'd be heading in the right direction. This ain't your grandfather's terror network. We killed your grandfather years ago. Sure, we still think women are inferior, and we still hate Jews, gays, Christians, Hindus, foreigners, and the Mets. That's equality. But now we use the right pronouns before we kill you. He died. His death. See? And our local offices are always open to hear from dissenters. And we promise never to go door to door looking for you.
We have been hearing messages from people who are saying that the Taliban and their fighters have gone house to house. Are you denying those allegations?
Yes, I totally deny. We are not Taliban.
So follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube page. They won't censor us because we don't criticize elections. And don't forget to smash that like button like the head of an infidel. Taliban 2.0 cannot guarantee the rights or safety of LGBTQ citizens, women, animals, or any living creature.
So we got problems, but it's not just the new Afghanistan, it's the old Biden. He may be woke, but he's definitely not awake. Welcome to if she were a restaurant, all she'd be serving is straight bags. Director from the White House staffer, Amanda Millian. He went to Harvard and Yale, but don't let that fool you. He's actually smart. Author of the book Cloak Inc. with a Ramaswamy. She's like a glow stick, bright, fun, and often seen on the ground in a rain. What's his contributor tattoo? And when he walks to work, Janice Dean reports the weather as overcast. My massive sidekick in the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Amanda, what do you make of this mess?
Well, it's kind of so dark that it's hard to even try to have a sense of humor about it, but you've done a good job. But I thought it was well done.
Thank you.
I mean, the thing about it is that, you know, coming from having worked at the State Department and the White House and the former administration, it's a really dark thing to look at because they are right that it's a complicated situation and there's no good way to leave, but there's no way our administration would have let that happen. And the thing that I think people get confused about is why people get so angry and frequently point to the wokeism, the obsession with like Millie and these guys, certainly our current State Department with wokeism, overdoing their job is because moments like this are why we need them to be good at their basic job.
Right.
Their most basic, fundamental job is to get Americans out of harm's way and to not conduct ourselves in a way that is embarrassing to the world. It projects this much weakness. It's actually a national security issue, and so that's what's really frustrating. I think that's gotten lost, is that a lot of times it's easy to sort of you know, joke about it, like, yeah, they're not looking at, they don't have the instructions on how to get out of Afghanistan in the white fragility book, which is true, but the frustrating thing is, you're like, you know, add your little programs, add your EON